This is video 2 on the fundamentals of economics note taking sheet. We're going to be focusing on the production possibility curves as opposed to last time we focused on scarcity and opportunity costs. Okay, so now we're going to look at some graphing type stuff. Um, but here's the thing, this is the original. I want the one that I created on, and you should want yours too, because you're going to turn all of it in together when you're finished. So, how do you find it? Let me show you the two ways to find it easily. You go into Docs, boom. And you could just look around here. But you see how you want one with your name on it, not just this part, because you want the one you worked on. I'm going to choose the first one. But if it didn't come up right that way because you've been a week working a couple days, I had just been working on it. All you got to do is start putting in your name, and then the right stuff's going to pop up. See how I got rid of all the copy of stuff because that's sloppy mostly. So now this one looks nice. Boom, I click it, I open it. That's the one I want to start. And if I know I want to go to 1.3 right away and I want to get there quickly, here's a shortcut for you. I like little tricks like this. Choose Control F. See how the little box pops up? And just type 1.3. Oh, see how I got right there? Quick. Okay. So let's do our tab resize thing again. Let's go 1.2. And then we're going to go see if we can open this. And then see if I can do it like this. All right, doesn't want me to do it too easily, but I'm pretty stubborn. That's why it's 4:40 at night and I'm still working. Because even though stuff failed, I am not going to quit because I want to do a good job and I want to help you be successful. Okay, so this is 1.3. This matches. That said, let's go forward with the lecture. Um, the first, usually there's going to be some big questions that you should be able to answer by the time you're done with the slideshow. So the first question here are, what are the production possibilities curve and production possibilities frontier? What is that? So what is that? Well, this slide shows you can answer that. How does the PPC, the production possibility curve, once you get an acronym, you're going to want to take note of it and be ready if it comes up again. Shows efficiency, growth, and cost. I would encourage you not to say PPC because you're going to want to know what it stands for. Okay. Economists use models to explain economic concepts. This is a way to simplify complex issues. The little graph tries to make things more clear, people. And so they give you these models, they give you these charts and graphs to help explain the numbers. They use the scientific method to study concepts, meaning they're trying to be evidence based, trying to use hypothesis, testing, proofs to come up with results that they can turn into laws or rules to help things improve going forward. You are familiar with some models. You've seen a map, though you're probably more familiar with GPS. You've seen a human anatomy model. Probably, if you've taken physiology anatomy, if you've been in the dentist's office, you've seen the teeth. These are all examples of models that you might have come across. But let's see what it's like for economics. The models we're talking about are these curves and the frontier. When you're talking a production possibility curve, it's a model that shows alternative ways that an economy can use its resources. The production possibilities frontier is the line that shows the maximum possible output. Um, for an economy. So this is perfect dream world. Um, to make it simpler, we're gonna just look at two products in a society. And so let's look more carefully. So when you're talking the curve, you're really talking opportunity cost, trade-offs. You're talking frontier, you're talking dream world. Because you never can produce as much as you'd like, because the world is never perfect, even if you'd like the world to be perfect. So yeah. But I think you need to get a closer look at the graph. So now we're going to open this one. And we're going to view and present mode a little bit and take a look. This is a PPF. This is for an economy that's making planes and cars. So you see, as they produce more cars, they produce less airplanes. And as they produce more airplanes, they produce less cars. That's right. That's what the graph means here. Let's go to the next one. Likewise, if there's another economy where they're getting into computer production, he's going to cut into the wheat production. Well, you need some wheat, or the people will starve. So, but if you don't, but the big money's in the computers. So really, A and E are out. So generally, you're going to want to have something in the B to D range, and probably C, but not definitely C. It would depend on your population and your needs. A B might make more sense, or D might make more sense. But generally, I don't think A or E is going to make as much sense. Hopefully, you follow that. But yeah, you see how these are all on the graph? And then you just connect the dots. And steepness or flatness will affect elasticity. More on that to come. So a production possibilities curve shows efficiency, point of maximum use of the resources. 250 computers and 2,500 wheat is more total than I think any of the other options. Um, but the computers probably have more value. So you might say, well, if I sell more computers, I can afford to buy the people more wheat. So maybe the higher end on the computers is better. But then you don't want to give control of starving to another country. So that could be considered an important or key linchpin industry that you're going to want to keep national control over. So, yeah, people don't want to give another country an opportunity to starve them. So let's go ahead and go back to our split screen. Let's go to 15. When you're talking efficiency, this is a point of maximum use of resources on the production possibilities frontier. When you're talking growth, that's what happens when more resources are added. And when you get that, you're going to get a shift in the curve. The frontier going to push to the right, but somehow, some way in the system, you're going to have to get an influx of resources to make that happen. When you're talking costs, what are we giving up to produce more of something else? What's the trade-off? Again, opportunity cost kind of analysis. More on efficiency. This is when you're using resources to maximize the production of the goods and services. How are we going to make it most efficient? People are taking breaks every 10 minutes to go have a cigarette. That's not going to be the best for your business. But then if you don't give them any breaks, they might break down. So you need to give some breaks, but you don't want to give too many breaks. So you're trying to have a good balance. Anyway, so we're talking about when the economy is operating efficiently. I don't know why it's not working on my underline. There we go. I hope you appreciate you're not having to take too many notes and you're able to follow the ideas. The ideas are more important than the words. The words help you remember the ideas. So you got to have a little bit of a balance. If you had no words to write in, you might totally tune out. So that's not good. Anyway, growth. For economics to work successfully, you have to have a certain amount of growth. If more resources become available, If technology improves, an economy can increase its level of output and um, grow. So write an increase. But one of those things has to happen, or something positive to shift things. When this growth occurs, the entire production curve shifts. When you're talking a shift, you're talking about a jump. It doesn't just move along the same line. You have a new line out farther or out closer, depending on the type of shift and what's happening. If you got a lessening of resources, you're going to get a shift smaller. If you're getting growth, you're going to get a shift bigger or to the right, typically on these curves. Okay. So when you have growth occurs, the entire production curve shifts to the right. This is going to be an important thing to remember. So it's shifting to the right. And we're going to want to look a little more carefully at this graph. Point A to the left of the curve is inefficient or underutilizing all your resources. Point D outside the curve is impossible unless you get more resources or improve tech. And tech does increase and improve over time. Originally, the original cell phone was the size of a brick. Now the cell phones are kind of as small as you want them to be. And they do a lot more than just call people, as you all know. Okay, let's take a deeper dive and look at this visual. We might have to blow this one up. So let's do that. So if more resources become available or if technology improves, an economy can increase its level of output and growth. All right, we already covered that. Okay. Let's look at the dots. So A is a lack of utilization of all your resources. B is the maximum one on the original curve. C is the new a new point on the production's possibility uh, based on the increase of resources or improvement in technology. D is impossible based on current levels of tech or resource. Okay? So you want to look at those points because they mean something based on where they're at or not at on the graph. All right, let's go to the next one. The production possibilities graph show the cost of producing more of one item. All right, let's go leave full screen, go back to split. And let's clean that up. All right. I think I'm getting a little tired because I'm starting to click on things that I shouldn't be clicking on. Let's try to stay focused. Yeah. Come on, dude. I gotta let these spaces go. But the more I get tired, the more I get hung up on little mistakes and fixing them right away. Sorry. Uh, where was I? Uh, Basically, it's 10 to 5 on Tuesday. So I'm just kind of making more mistakes than I should be. Sorry about that. Hang in there. I'll refocus here. Okay. The production possibilities graph shows the cost of producing one more of any item. When you have the law of increasing costs, this is what we're saying your factors of production are shifted from making one good or service to another. Cost of producing the second item increases. Basically, you're getting a trade off. Okay. So, yeah, you could make more computers, but then you'll produce less wheat. Or you could make more wheat, but then you'll produce less computers. It's a trade off. Usually not that simple. And there's quite a few more than two resources in the market, in most markets. But it, if you focus on too many things, you'll get more confused than you need to. So, but they tend to simplify on the first examples. So, why is it usually curved? Well, um, you're going to have limited tech or limited resources. and it's going to be choice. Whether you want more cars or more tomatoes or whatever, you're going to have to make a choice. Or more bullets or more books, whatever the case may be, choices are inevitable. All right, the PPF could be a straight line or it could be bow shaped. Depends on what's happening when you're shifting from one industry to the other. If the opportunity cost is constant, it tends to be a straight line because there's no shift from one to the other item. In the previous example, opportunity of cost was always 10 tons of wheat. So it was an equal ratio. You'd normally get that, but it's conceivable you could get that. But in the real world, not. But uh, if opportunity cost of a good rises as the economy produces more, the good PPF is bow shaped. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just underline this for myself. You could underline it, you could highlight it. How would you highlight it? You go into here, and you click this, and let's just highlight it. I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna do boom, boom, because that's the point that matters. If my trade-off is fixed, I'm gonna get a straight line. But if it's not, you're gonna get trade-off from one land, labor, capital, whatever the case may be. Let's see if we can get a better look at that graph. Okay, so A or B. So we're going from underutilized to full utilized. Then we're getting a tech or resource bump in the shift. Um, yeah. So they're both. Neither one is an opportunity cost constant. They're both bow shaped. Draw a production possibility curve for an economy producing watermelons and shoes. Label each axis in the production possibility frontier. Mark a point on your graph that shows that resources are being used efficiently. Mark a point on your graph that is not possible with given resources. All right, let's see if I can do that. Let's see if I can do that on my notes. How can I do it quickly and easily? Well, the good news is I got some tools here. Let's say watermelons. Helps to kind of just start making up numbers. 1,000. When shoes are 100, there's 0. Then we'll go 800, 200. Then we'll go 600, 350. Then we'll go 450, 550. Now I got ratios. How am I going to draw this in? Insert. I think I got some drawing tools. But what if I try here? And I think there's a drawing app. I have never tried this. So I'm going to try it. First time you, first time me. Might make it easier. Well, let's see if it's cool. All right. So there's our. All right. I want to see the controls. Watermelons versus shoes. And I'm going to go ahead and add in that made up data I just did. Let's see. Oh, no, I can plot a couple points. Doo-doo. I'm going to go ahead and just stick it in the title so I can look at it. And I want a graph. What can make me a graph? Uh-huh. So 1,000, 0, 800, 200. And so 800, 200, 600, 350, 450, 500, and then something 0. And there's my curve. Does my line stink? Yeah, kind of. Did I get the gist of it? Yeah, kind of. Do I care? I don't know. I guess I don't care. Let's see. Let's see if I can put this link. Wish me luck. First time. Ah! Ha 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 ha. That's good enough in my book. I'm going to go in and insert some words now. Watermelons versus shoes. Fine. Good enough for me. Peace, peace, peace. So I told you the graphing is going to be basic and quick. I don't know if I can make it any quicker. Production's possibilities curve. Okay, I think I know what this one is. PPC is the line showing trade-offs in production. While, see, I'm still making it a sentence. PPF is the maximum production. We're good. Thank you. So that nice lady was checking to see if my air conditioning worked because at 3:30 today, I was like sweating, and then I hit this button in the green light, and then now I'm comfortable again. So I'm not gonna break down here, which is good. Okay, where was I? How does the PPC show efficiency, growth, and cost? PPC shows points of efficient production and can model growth with shifts, growth and contraction with shifts in curves, and shows that there is a trade-off cost with production. All right, now I'm going to check my notes to see if I was somewhere close to it. And if it's close enough, I'm going to go with it because I don't need it to be super complicated. Alternative ways that an economy can use its resource. That sounds like trade-off to me. Trade-offs in production. Yep, oh, it does. That's good enough. PPF is line that shows maximum possible output. Maximum possible output. Maximum possible output. Maximum production. Yeah, that's the same thing. PPF show efficiency, growth, and cost. Let's see. Efficiency, maximize production. Maybe I'll add maximum in there. Model growth and contractions with shifts and curves. There's a trade-off cost with production. Let's see if that's the kind of production I was talking. Growth, shifts to the right. Eventually, there can be shifts to the left too. We're not getting into that yet. Graph shows the cost of producing one more item. That is your law of increasing cost. That is your opportunity cost and thinking at the margin coming back in. All right, I think that does it for this notes. Hopefully that made 1.3 clear. Hopefully you saw that this section is more complicated. That's why there's more notes on it. The other ones weren't as complicated, so there were less notes. Hopefully that makes sense to you, and you stayed with the process. And again, the better you do with this early, the more everything's going to make sense as you go forward. The more you skip steps early, the more you're going to pay later. Eventually, I'm not going to answer these questions for you, but I want to show you what I think is good before I have you do it on your own. Hopefully, that's cool with you. Hopefully, you found this video valuable. Take care.